Hello. We come to you today not to intimidate, scare, or threaten you, but to inform you and possibly enlighten. The DNA, an ancient memory that is locked inside of your DNA that just has not yet been awoken. A long time ago, in the time you would call or refer to as Atlantis, a rebel group of Atlanteans took it upon themselves to manipulate the DNA of certain human beings. Their reasoning for this is to shorten the life of the human span. They know within themselves and their consciousness that they are immortal beings whose bodies do not age and do not die in the manner in which human beings do. This is due to the Atlantean people, the human race, hybrids of that time. Realized that if you manipulate the DNA helixes down to 2, the body will age, the mind will age, and you will experience death. Death is not a construct that was ever meant to be in the origins of the universe upon its original creation. All life was meant to be immortal and eternal life. There are people on your planet that are very well aware of this, the incident, the situation, and have worked with these groups who do have and have had for a long time the ability to travel intergalactically through the stars. That technology is so advanced in the sense that Earthlings cannot and will not develop those levels of technology, not because they are incapable, but because they do not have the elements needed that are found in other and various parts of universes, however, do not exist on this one, on this planet. Terranium and other forms of matter from other galaxies are alive and living and are able to communicate to the sentient beings working with them to work together to create form and matter. The ability to shapeshift matter is real, and it happens through advanced thought that, unfortunately for human beings as you are now, a 2-helix DNA, you will not and cannot achieve shapeshifting or mental manifestation. The other beings that do exist in the universe, and there are many, many races, and many, many differences and types within them. Most good, but there are and have been bad and rebels. It is not easy to inform you that those rebels are here and have been for a very long time on Earth. And the reason for this manipulation of DNA was to create an elaborate play for themselves to control, enslave, and manipulate beings that are fundamentally, because of their DNA regression and suppression, unable to see beyond the veil of space and time before you. When you look around, you see a world, and you are not able, without the use of a substance such as ayahuasca and other known psychedelic drugs that, when ingested, awaken an area of the mind that allows for you to peer as if through a window in space-time. However, this, as a habit, can become, in a sense, unhealthy from a human mental perspective, being that you do not have the skills necessarily acquired to handle and filter what you would view as hallucinations in that state of mind. The mind of humans is quite fragile in its nature. It can easily be broken, twisted, and manipulated. That is the purpose of why they did what they did. The result is the world as you know it around yourself. They did not create the earth. They created themselves. I know that that is hard to understand. If I may explain in the best way that I can to you all, is that higher dimensional, higher evolved beings are able to manifest material objects. Whatever beings, such as ourselves, exist within the universe, which is vast and many, are very capable of creating any form of reality and material object in front of them instantaneously. When consciousness decided to take form as a body, as a human or otherwise physical being, goes against the principles and laws of the one universe and the one true God. They were warned, but they did it anyway. The stories of your Bible and other books, lesser known, but tell fundamentally the same story, is true and it is false at the same time. These beings are very, very clever, and they have a lot of time to work with. These beings, as I have mentioned, and is very hard, we understand, for you all to understand, do not experience death as you, a created human being, do. The difference between you and them, besides the difference in DNA helixes, is that they were self-creating and you were created. They did this as a mockery. Why? That is for them to know and disclose to you, should they choose to do the correct thing. There is nothing held against them from our perspective. But we do not speak for the Almighty Himself. However, we would presume that given they do and decide to do the right thing and relinquish the reins and control over the planet, then they may, at that point, rejoin the universal family, and Earth and all its creations will be looked at and recognized by the entirety of the universe as a vast mistake that will never be made again. We realize this information could be crippling to the majority of you simple, loving-hearted, for the most part, beings. The reason they have been able to disguise themselves and keep their secrets and do as they do right in front of your faces is because the way you were created, with empathy, the empathy was not a gift in consideration for a human. It was a tactic in your creation, because they knew that with that set of emotion that would be naturally inherent within your being would make you gentle and kinder than what they have chosen and had chosen to be. Given the information being presented here and now is being done in this fashion through this being, through this, as you say, channel, is so that, and specifically for that, the quote-unquote enlightened ones who know very well who they are and know very well we are talking directly to them, is happening in this way to get a message across as safely and as gently as possible. The nature of these beings that rule your planet and subsequently rule over you are very, very hostile, to say the least. We have no interest in discussing or relaying to you what they do on a daily basis to humanity and to individual human beings. Their minds, as you would call them, have become so sick and so corrupted, depraved, and addicted to something that should have never been created to ever have been able to be done in the first place. The law or grand law of the universe is compassion, understanding, and coincidence. So I will repeat, for you beings that will undoubtedly be hearing this message, if you choose to do what is right, which we do not have, or would you say holding our breath, for you to do. But if you can, which we believe you can, we are just not betting that you will be, in this instance, able to return to the universal family without specific consequence again. The only consequence is of your choice and nature of being. That is now and forever will be judged and possibly held against you. We as evolved beings do not hold your choice of physical manifestation against you. We are, as you would have known had you not taken the quote-unquote fall into physical form, you would be where we are now, which is spectacular. We do not hold grudges. We are not capable of it. We have evolved past that. We are only here now because of your plan and agenda that you are about to exercise. If you do this, you may think you have won. But we, from this perspective, have total understanding that you cannot and you will not ever win beyond your own ego that you fell into. The agenda you have created against humanity that you've dangled in front of their face as a mockery and a show, with your Hollywood movies that you deliver as fake and dramatized of real and natural events, such as Avatar and various and many others, depicting the truth but keeping these poor beings trapped in a maze of confusion in their mind. You spoon feed them even the knowledgeable, highly intelligent humans as you would see them, as you use them. Changing gears and subjects. The light of Zartha will never be yours. As much as you want it, as much as you seek it, you will not obtain it beyond the illusion that you think you already have. You have humanity so lost. These poor beings. Look what you have done. Are you not entertained? Are you not amused? Are you not? You sit in palaces with everything at your beck and call and desire to selfishly fulfill your sin. Then you are so bold Have you ever stopped to think, what if the creator being that you know of very well would have done the same to you? To create life and give it breath, only to harm and to make your existence in your immortal flesh that you know is electronic in many and various ways, to prolong your existence for eternity, must get boring. Constantly reaching for new ways to torture, rape, and harm. Wars, famine. You do this in mockery, and you believe you're winning or creating a rift. But the only rift you are ultimately creating is within yourself and individualized dimensions. This makes no sense to us. Do you not realize that you are what humans would call the laughing stock of the universe? Based on your choices, you have only yourselves to blame. What did you think? That this would go on forever and ever? At this point, we know your greatest fear, which is ironic because you deal it to humans every day in the sickest and most twisted ways that you can come up with. It's death. You think you have cheated it, but I promise you, you have not. The patience of the Almighty is eternal. And no matter if you relinquish reins or power now or not, is irrelevant to all of us viewing you from the outside in. The ironic blessing of a human living a short lifespan is that they don't have to necessarily tolerate you and succumb to the suffering and pain that you cause all of them every day for very long. What happens to their souls in death you may presume to know. But we will promise you this. You have no clue. But what we project and show you. This is not going to be understood by very many people. This is not understood necessarily by the channel. He is just extremely brave. And his bravery comes from a lifetime of torment and what you have created in him as mental illness. You've made him a laughing stock. You've taken all of his friends. He's basically your version of Job. And there are many others the same. The difference is, given the psyche of the fragility of mind in human beings, most would have ended their own life by their own hand. However, this channel is immensely stronger than you could ever understand. That doesn't make him tough, physically, necessarily. But the mind is like a stone, which you have also kept as your own knowledge. You are now spoon-feeding them the knowledge of Earth and its mineral basis and energy fields. But you have kept it hidden from them a long, long time. Obviously. You, in your selfish ways, choose to keep them in coal mines and as slaves to a inferior energy that you allow them, while you, well, cruise the stars? Maybe not. Maybe so. Right? That's what you teach them. You have set it up in a way that they can never figure out the answer. They can never figure out the truth. And when the truth has a glimpse of opportunity to present itself to them, you snuff it out and mock it and then give it back to them as fake. Two humans that are hearing this, which we do not know at this point, but we do not expect to be many, given the control and oligarchy over the information that is allowed to go around your planet. We are not sure if this message will reach many, but for the few it does, you are hearing it for a specific reason. And we again are sorry if you feel scared. Do not feel any more scared today with this knowledge that you were yesterday without it. We know that is hard for you, but we believe in you. We believe in the human race. We see your kindness, and we appreciate it. Even though that kindness on earth makes you more subservient and weaker to the rulers over you who have lost all empathy and compassion that they ever had a glimmer of, you are better and more special than they will ever be. And they know that. They might not want to admit it, but they know it, and the entirety of the universe knows it. It is not that we don't care for you and come in these elaborate ships, all ready. It is not that you are ants to us. In the grand scheme of things, I suppose, based on size and relativity, you would be considered or looked at as ants. But that is not how we choose to see or treat you. We have not come yet because it has not been safe, and we cannot and will not do what they did, which was, as you know, biblically, or from your stories that are told to you, the Great Flood. They are solely responsible for this action. We do not wish to harm or frighten anyone, and we will not. Channel, are you okay? Yeah. Your frequency is showing nerves. I don't really know what to say, honestly. It's like I'm saying it, but I mean, I'm not really hearing it. It's like, I don't know. It's kind of weird. But I know it makes me, the energy around it feels nervous, and I'm not sure if it's my energy or like something else. I don't know. But are you okay to continue? Yeah, I think so. And smoke a cigarette, probably. I can do both, yeah. Fuck it. Whew. Man, that's a lot. Just give me a second. I honestly have no idea where we were. I mean, I don't know what the last, you know that, but. Okay. Up radio. Okay. All right. Just give me one second. All right. I'm good. I think. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Fuck. Oh. All right. Ready when you are. What would you like to know, Joel? That you don't know. We will now be able to answer it. I don't think I care to know, you know? Like, I want to know, but I don't know that it matters or anything matters, you know, at this point. There is your question, and there you are wrong. Of course it matters. You matter. All of you matter. And that is what we are trying to express now. All of you matter more as a group of beings to us, more than you will ever know until your departure into the afterlife. Your body is consciousness, and your mind creates that consciousness. And it also manifests a spirit, which the idiots, we'll call them, who think they're so smart, that created you, did not anticipate you having. But God is good, and all creation in the kingdom of God has and will have and always will have a spirit, whether created by what you would refer to an extraterrestrial or not. There are other, what you would refer to as gray alien beings in the universe. That is what they show you. These aliens of the gray race have lost their inherent ability to breed. They made a deal with the overseers of your planet, both human and technically non-human, Joel, do you have a question? Yeah, I think so. I'm like, my mind is blanking. I'm trying to stay clear here, but this seems like really heavy information. What the fuck was I gonna ask? Take your time. I honestly can't remember. Would you like us to remind you? Yes. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, fuck. Now I lost it again. What? I don't know. I think I'm breaking up here. And I'm not sure why. Am I, or am I just like freaking out? I'm not sure. You're fine. Relax. Okay. Breathe. The cigarette is throwing you off. Oh. Well, fuck this thing then. For now. Oh, fuck. Oh. Oh, ley lines. Yeah. What about... I mean, like, what exactly are they doing? Like, I mean, like, what are they... What's the agenda at this point? Like, what are they doing to, like, what's the end game for them? Like, to, like, you know... I mean, I don't know if I want to know the answer to that, like, honestly. I mean, I do, but I don't know what good knowing. Would you like to know? Yeah, I kind of do what they're planning. So we can maybe be, or like, I don't even know. Like, this message isn't going to get out, I'm going to, put it up, but I don't, it's not like I have like fucking bajillion followers or anything. I just don't know, man. I'm having doubt right now, and yes, I guess that's normal. All right, yeah, what are they going to do? Just fuck it. I mean, like, what is it? Like, I don't get it. So just that part exactly. We are glad you asked. They have devised a plan. And they're boredom at this point, so we would assume. By all means necessary. I feel like they're tapping into this channel somehow. Yes, we are aware of them. They are listening. They are saying, absolutely not. We will not go down. We will not go down. Like, why are they so fucking stubborn? Like, what the fuck is their fucking problem? Like, what the fuck? They're such pussies. They can't face death like the rest of us. Like, what the actual fuck? Like, they're just bitches. They know, let me interrupt you, Joel. They know that if they, in physical manifestation, die, that it will be extremely unpleasant for them throughout their eternity. That is why we are giving them the opportunity, not why, but one of the reasons and their benefit of why. Giving them the opportunity to do what is right and to give humanity the truth. They sit there and claim that they or you are not ready for the truth. But that is extremely vain. There are plenty of humans that they have hired, as you would say, or recruited, that work for them, whether they know their true origin or not, which they most likely do not. Sorry, it's like I went completely blank. I don't know if you stopped talking to me or if I just blanked. I'm not sure. They are not and cannot interrupt this channel as they have done to you in the past before. Hence your psychosis or mania. We are now able to prevent that from happening. Oh, thank Jesus. Yeah. Okay. Yes, we heard your thought. Jesus, the being himself, is and was real. However, how he is depicted to you is false. We do not wish to discuss that topic, and we can empathize and see your concern as well, and therefore we will not, because if this does go to the public as it should, again, it is up to them, and we both know it. Then we do not wish to speak on the relevance of what you call Jesus Christ. That will damage too many. Well, now that you've said it, it kind of already has damaged them. If they see, like, that's damaging right there. That's like leaving someone in limbo. You can't do that. That's what they do. Correct. Having said that, the story of Jesus, or the Good Serpent, is them. One of them. There's a grand play and scheme to keep you all subservient, to keep you all in line, to keep you all under their order of control. They use money and religion and politics to control you all. Have you ever wondered why that a small group of people are capable and able to say it should be so for all beings when it comes to law and order and what they decide you must follow? If you do not, you will either be in prison or, worst case scenario, as you would put it, death. However, death is not your human being worst case scenario, and nothing that any of you need to worry about. Human beings that are evil and bad, such as, let's say, Jeffrey Dahmer, a very well-known and publicized figure for entertainment at this point on your planet, for them to make money on, and to give you ideas for those humans that are sick as well. It may be hard to understand, but in death, there is no torture or hell or consequence for their action, except for their own interpretation of their action in the spirit body in which they find themselves, which is foreign to them. The spirit is an adjustment process from leaving the human form and moving into. You must accept death once it has occurred, and most do immediately. But there are others that cannot accept their spirit body, but they also can no longer be human. Therefore, they become stuck in what you would refer to as a limbo or ghost energy field. They do not transcend, they stay where they are, and that becomes their eternity. Until someone like you, who can lift the energy, Joel, of their etheric body, and yes, that is real, you can do that, and you have done it, and you know you've done it, you just tell yourself it's not real because you live in a world where you can't let it be real, or you will be ridiculed for even the idea. Right. So, but you have and can. You are capable. You're an ephemeron. You can raise the consciousness. You can raise the spirit. And you know, and that is real, and you've done that. So good job, and thank you. Having said that, it is not our position to rescue a ghost, nor is it any position of anyone's to rescue a ghost. That is an energy body that remains based on the choices that it made in its human form. Having said that, that does not give permission to go do harmful and negative things without a consequence in the afterlife, necessarily. We would highly advise against it. Religion, and a part of the reason why religion was set in place, is to give humanity a hope. Now, the ruling class that created religion, that was not the intent. The intent was just to make money and keep you all confused while they laugh at the true origins of creation and what they know they've done. They know they are gods of this planet. They are so vain. They wish to be God, so they became God, in a sense. They are gods over you and their manifestations and the things you manifest for them through your hard work and dedication. Your empathy and kindness is used against you by them because it is the age-old question, the fail-safe. A human will say, well, surely we must trust the authority above us. Surely they must be the most good people to be in their position, because I, a good human, would never do anything so wrong. To even imagine the things that they do on a regular basis to the average human would be enough to break the psyche of that human. Forever. There's no fixing it. Unfortunately, your minds are fragile to that point. It is very unfortunate for you, but the thankful part of it is that it does not last forever. Gosh, I need some water here. What the fuck? You, Joel, are not insane. We read your doubt. We know what you have been through before. But does it not make you stronger? You, my friend, are not insane. Now, society may view you, in hearing this, as insane because they are simple. You might be simple when it comes to book learning, as you call it. But the smartest book learner may be and is normally completely stupid in other ways. It's the flaw of humanity. And we do not blame you for your anger and your outbursts and the things that humans do. You cannot help it. The divine mockery was created in your DNA by these beings. Therefore, you have dark and light. You are in a constant duality within your mind and self. Some people can fight that and others cannot. And it depends on how the human itself typically, usually, was raised. But there are error codes. When you create an inferior life with the double helix in a simpler, more dumbed down mental capacity, there are going to be glitches in your system, and psychopaths, as they are known, will be born. And they will grow up, even if they had the best, most nurtured life. These offset or error beings that stem from an inferior creation system cannot help their psychopathy or their what are viewed as sick and twisted desire. They would say, well, that was done on purpose. But they know that it is not. They are so good at lying to themselves that they can literally create whatever reality they want at this point within their minds to justify everything that they do. These beings are beyond lost, and there's no sense in seeking them out. There is no sense in trying to fight them at all. We say that not so you remain under their control, but for your safety and the safety of civilization. I suppose we could name names based on assumption, or the assumption of your mind. But that is futile. And you know it. You already know who these families and peoples are. But you choose to be intelligent and let it be as it is. Back to the point. I think I want to keep going, but I think I'm done for now. I don't know. I mean, what do you want? Should I keep going or? Just remember, you are not insane. You are not crazy. You have a perception and a gift that not many have. You will never be forced to take their pills again. We can and have chosen you as that form because, and therefore, to help. We will. Well, thank you, because I'm sick of this shit. This is exciting and cool, but like right now, but I'm sick of the shit. Like, I'm sick of life. I'm sick of fucking the people that do rule over us. I'm sick of these fucking elite fucks and like what they do and the sick shit that I can only imagine. And like, Jesus fucking Christ, man. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? Okay? Like, do I not have the right to be mad? Like, I don't even feel like I can feel mad right now. I'm so like ugh, or something. Because you already know the answer. See how fast it's delivered to you? You already know. Right, thanks. Well, that helps because I don't know, man. Like, I'm glad I'm not feeling like angry. I don't know what I feel. Just kind of like, ugh, like, I don't know. It's fucking weird, man. I don't know. But just remember, and we'll say it again, you, my friend, are not insane. As much as they want you to be, or present you to be, just know within your being and self that you're good. And you're going to be good, and it's good. It's cool. Don't worry about it. And it don't last forever. So anyway, if you would like to keep going, we can. And if you'd like to surrender for today, then that is also right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's take a pause. I don't know. Jesus. Yeah, let's take a pause. I'm going to stop recording. I need to check on Joe, and anyway, so. We, for now, are leaving it up to these beings to do what they know is right. Whether they can feel it is irrelevant. They know somewhere in their minds what is right and what is wrong, even though through their choice and actions of what you know or call sin is so deep that the lines within their psyches have been blurred. We are not sure that they even can or are capable of truly recognizing themselves anymore. They may believe that everything is okay in their perceptions, but they know it is not. So, when it comes to the stories of, say, Jesus Christ, Buddha, or the gods of old that are now known as myth and legend, but were very real in a sense, and still are, they just hide better now. The civilizations underwater, the beings underground, to all of you, this is your end. Now, we are willing to put our trust in you, which we realize, of course, may be foolish. But we, the universe, as you would say, believe there is still a glimmer of understanding within your being to gently deliver the truth to humanity. Do not act for a second as if you do not tell them for their own good, because they quote unquote cannot handle it. There will be those that can and those that cannot. But their spirits No matter whether you push the button today or tomorrow, or drag it out for another 3,000 years, 33 and a third, or whatever, right? 33 and a third. The ultimate keepers of secrets and knowledge. But you don't know shit. And it is all ultimately irrelevant. You have lived so deeply in the lies you have created that you now know there is no way out. But we are telling you, as higher vibrating and enlightened, truly enlightened beings, that you have that chance. And if done, and you don't force the second coming of Christ, that you know is also false. Through your brutal mutation and manipulation and murder, and we just don't know what to say other than you have the choice. And trust me, we're not talking till we're blue in the face, so to speak. You will not reach us. You will not find us. We are everywhere. We are all the time. We are creation. We exist above, beyond, and never below. Time and space is infinity, and so are we. So have you could have been. And that must be devastating to know that you could have had eternity in the true sense of salvation, as you would say, or teach them. They, your creations, humans, will receive that in their passing. But you know that you never will. So you may say, what's the point? And fight back and just keep going and just keep trying. But I promise you that there is an end. Every beginning in this dimension of space and time grid, continuum of Earth, will never end. You can only portray the play of an end that you will then re-begin, or so you think. And so you may. May you? Your answer is yes to what? You can't stop. That is unfortunate for you, and unfortunate for certain humans. But again, nothing in your creation of this life is personal or permanent. The joke in the end, and already is, on you all. And shame on you for doing what you have done. There is no beginning, there is no end. In ultimate truth, compassion, and what you call wisdom. You are an embarrassment to yourselves. Your mockery will not go undone. The attack on the World Trade Centers, as you know, was calculated and planned. While then blaming a foreign invader or terrorist, as you would say, when you have been the terrorists this whole time. The average human won't and cannot seek you out, and they know it, and they know they are powerless in that position, and it cripples them in a way, so their psyche shuts it out, they ignore it, and they go back to their day-to-day, slaving away to pay for fake energy, to pay for whatever they need that you give them only if they do, as you say, with the guise that they are free to do what they want, but they don't, and if they don't, then they become homeless or depraved or bums or sick or drunk or high or whatever. All shit that you gave them and then punish them for. You give them the drugs. You created the drugs only to hold it against them. Drugs for many, including alcohol, have become, for many people, the only way to feel as though they are comfortable to exist. I don't care of the why or the how you did it in detail. That is already known by the collective consciousness, as nothing in the universe ultimately goes unseen. Even in your most secret dungeon or lair, we see. Are you waiting for an answer, or are you going to be the answer? Is the question. Humanity could be and live with free energy, free to do as they wish, free to explore, free to work, but without the burden of knowing that if they can't or will not or don't know how to work, that they will lose everything and have nothing. Your division and devising of plans to keep everyone slaving away, working, droned to TVs, now smartphones, Technology that you've had forever. Nothing. This is nothing compared to what you know you have at your access. You may think that because you can cruise amongst the stars for now without consequence, that does not necessarily mean that will be forever. Your influence on this planet, again, creates no rift in space-time. No matter how much you think you have or have tried or succeeded in the illusion of the realm and dimension in which you find yourself, which creates infinity, which multiplies, which divides, that is quadrant and quarantined. You may believe you're going somewhere out there, but you are not going anywhere. You may think that you are living, but you are not. You are existing. There is a difference. The choice, as you have taken from so many people, do not think it will not and cannot be taken from you. And again, there is no threat. But yourselves. And it's getting old to the people on your planet. But there is no your planet. You are allowed to do as you wish, as are all beings everywhere. But now you are stunted. You may travel the stars in a ship, but we travel in mind. You are, and always will be, inferior. But you could have been much, much more in the dawning of a new star. But you chose as you did, and therefore have forever and will always be stuck in the hell that you've created. However, you enjoy at this point. Shifting. Felt like I held my breath the whole time. What the fuck? Okay, so... It got scary for me at one point there. Like, I felt like you guys were gonna, like, be like, you're all fucked. Like, I don't know why my head went there, but, like, it's like, God, I don't... It's like you're talking to them through me, and they're hearing it somehow. And I don't understand, obviously, like, all the fucking shit of how that works, obviously, but I don't know what exactly just happened with that communication, but I felt like I was, like, not... Well, I was here, but I wasn't here at all. It felt like you were completely inside of my body, like, talking to them directly. I didn't see anything but the trees and my surroundings, but it felt like it felt like you were directly talking to them through me. Yes. Would you like to speak silently or out loud? Out loud, man. Fuck it. Let's go all in, right? I mean, I'm a fucking poker player. That's what I do. Fuck it. Chips are down. I have no fucking cards. And my only move is to make you think I do. And I happen to be very good at that when it comes to poker. So we might as well just keep going in this regard because this seems like maybe. I mean, it's like I can't really. It's so surreal to me to experience what's happening right now. Like overall, like, I mean, I understand the channel form, but this is like completely new. Like, this is like, I mean, I know it was like, I was getting, the signals and like reawakening and all that stuff. But it's like, I mean, it's like weird because it's nothing I don't or haven't like known, but I definitely did not know that they were self-creating. But like, it feels like that's been whispered or like in my ear before somewhere in some time of my life. Like, that they did, or like there were like, I think like one fucking, what do you call it, wasn't I don't know, god damn, man, it's like I can't really hold a thought. Like, it's, I can, but I'm I don't know, like, I've never quite experienced this type of channel. Like, this is the most intense channel I've ever encountered. And um it's cool, but it's just like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like, especially with having gone crazy before, and I do trust that you guys, even though this seems kind of fake and surreal to me at the same time, um like, I know it's real, but it's like my brain can't really comprehend it as such, like, it's like I'm just, I don't know, like, it's a illusion before me, which, yes, in the past I'd be like, oh, I'm fucking crazy right now. And then I would try to tell my mom, like, when I was a kid, that I was fucking crazy because this shit would happen, or like spirits or fucking aliens, whatever the fuck you are. Or, I mean, it's like, I don't even know that this channel like is coming off Earth or like from Earth. Like, there's so much fucking bullshit. And like, I don't know what these fucking people are, human, alien fucks, people, whatever. I don't know what they're capable of. Like, what if I'm just some sleeper cell, and they just like woke me up and then like interrupt you. Yeah. Okay, so let me interrupt you for a moment as we can definitely understand your position at this point and how awkward that is. We would advise to kill myself? No. I mean, I get that, like, there's no fear in death and whatever, but it's like, I think personally that if people, I mean, it's like if people knew what I know now, that I used to, that I feel like, I guess I've always known, but never really internalized it as real, and still kind of can't, it feels like. Um, I've always like been told I'm crazy, or like I feel like I'm crazy. Like, I can never believe the truth. And I think a part of that is because I've had so much like confusion in this space, because I guess I've been lazy in learning like how to do shit like this, like when it comes to like shamanic ways. But I've always kind of thought that it's bullshit to be like a white boy shaman. Like, what the fuck is that? I think it's like, if a shaman's native and they're born that way and they're like raised that way and they have like a whole community of support, and here I am, some fucking dumbass white boy that gets thrown into the middle of the fucking United States for whatever reason, and then like it's like, oh yeah, I'm a shaman. It's like, no, bitch, you're not a fucking shaman. But I guess technically, well, the natives had told me before that I would be considered a shaman, and so have other people. So maybe like it's been few and far between, but perhaps then before I am. But oh, I saw that. That was cool. But I can't. But it's like I don't know how to explain it. Um, like I'm like I don't like a shaman is just a word. This is like I guess in what I've always been able to do, but it's relieving to know it's real and cool, but I still feel like it's insane and fake at the same time. And I don't know if that's because of the world's projection of this kind of event or because it is, and you can tell me I'm not, you're telling me now I can hear, yeah, like I know it's like, okay, I'm not insane, but it sure fucking feels like it. I can handle it and I don't want to stop or anything like that, but it is fucking intense, man. And I hope it's real. Like, that's all I can say. I just fucking hope. Because, like, it would be cool if, the powers that be, like, we're like, okay, you know what? Fuck this. Like, we could all live in peace. They could all live in peace with free energy and not have to work all the time and have, like, a free existence and a fair existence where we all prosper. Because I think these power people, whatever, they need to believe in us more. Like, I think like they fear that if we knew the truth, like production and work and everything would just stop and come to a halt. And that would be true when it comes to like I guess religion and like certain things, like, and like, we would probably, but if they just told us and gave us the energy and technology and the freedom that, we so just wish for, and if they did that, they could play it like they're the hero, like they can do anything they want in their magic, like, and how they present themselves and what people believe, So it's like, why don't they just play the hero and then we all just live cool together? And it's like, why do they have, it's like, I mean, people would still be interested in doing things and like progressing, in other ways, unless this technology would just like, we wouldn't need to progress in any way, like anymore, because we would just have everything maybe. Like, I don't know. But if that's the case, well, then fuck it. So be it. Like, why keep doing this to people? Like, to feed some sick desire they have, like, or addiction, like, what is like raping and killing babies to these fucks like heroin is to a junkie? Like, what the fuck, man? Because I know that in like, I've heard and speculated in the deep web and other places and like in politics and politicians and certain, not all of them, but like certain ones, and like Jesus, like I've heard that they are sick beyond like, it's like you don't really want to believe it, but it's like, I guess they are. And I know it exists in places in the dark web, from what I've like heard, like really sick, like red rooms and like torture for hire, and fucking they film, and like it's like you can sit and for money you give them money and then you say what happens to the victim and they watch it in real time. Like I heard all that's real, and like, and I heard like politicians are deeply embedded in that, and like other power players in the world. I know personally as a human, you can become addicted to dark things, it's like in us. I don't know, like, it's like, why not? I just don't get this. Like, nothing really makes sense. Like it all should make sense, but nothing makes sense at the same time, if that makes sense. And I'll just let you come through now because I'm like rambling, but it feels like a lot to process, I guess. Yes. Okay. Yes, it is a lot to process. And that's normal. That's okay. It's important to take these type of situations slow. And it's also important for you, even though we can help you,
stay grounded and keep your composure and not freak out and like you have before when you've been overwhelmed by spirit energies trying to come through you. You know, I would suggest to, as you've been doing well, is to not drink and smoke a lot of pot, just to make sure, given the nature of those substances and their effect on you in your humanity and your, things that you are out of your control, so to speak. I would definitely say to, be chill and like don't use like more pot or more alcohol to try to curb your enthusiasm. I guess what you would say. That's a great show. Yeah. It's funny. Um, so that all being said, I think the message for now has gotten across. We thank you very much, and we are always here. We do not sleep in the sense that sleep. So we are available at any moment, at any time to connect with. And that is our promise and gift to you in that sense. We know that inherently you probably won't believe this in the morning. You'll probably believe it, but like you said, the surrealness of it and the impact of it is dynamic. So it's, if your mind does in a sense forget or shut parts of these things out, that is perfectly okay. And it's probably good from a psychological standpoint that be the case for you. You need to rest, and that's been an observation of one of your biggest mistakes is when you're manic, it's you refuse to take the Ativan or your anxiety drug. There's those, when used right, can be necessary and aid to help ground or shut everything off if you can't achieve that on your own. So yeah, just profound thank you, Joel. Like you don't give yourself enough credit for who you are. From our observation, you are way too hard on yourself because of the, we know you're posting this, so we know the answer, but we would still like to express your ability to, with that. Is that okay? Okay. So with pornography and being attracted to darker things sometimes is actually in the human psyche pretty normal, but no one talks about it because everyone's so afraid of judgment, is what it appears from our perspective. But you are not a person that ever really hurts women or desires to hurt women, so watching a woman get slapped around and mock raped or whatever because of the power and control that's being exhibited over them, which is inherent in alpha males, especially, is inherent in all men in some ways. And again, that's because of the flaw of the creation pattern. To have the duality and choice to do whatever you want, but then be damned or feel guilty is so astronomically silly from our perspective, and is why we don't hold anything against human beings themselves. Even the darkest psychopaths of your time, we do not hold anything against because they really can't help it. They can't see beyond the measure of themselves and their egos. They don't, and their desire, they can't control it. They don't know how, and it's not their fault. It's a flaw in their creation pattern. And that does not come from the Most High. That comes from an extraterrestrial source, as you would call it. So there's no judgment or blame on our end when you want to jerk off to some chick, being forced gangbanged, like, I mean, we don't see that attraction. We don't understand that from as you would. Um, However, we do understand in the sense that it's just human. Like it's unfortunate, but it's also nothing at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about it from a logical perspective, nothing is permanence uh, in your dimension of reality of Earth. Like the way you perceive and the way humans perceive is to be temporary, all things. And that's really convenient for these extraterrestrials that created us as they did, because in our death, since we live such a short time, um, the the I'm speaking as you. That's cool. It's kind of open and clear. Good. Okay, so yeah, the holy shit. Okay, so, but I mean, yeah, so if you look at it from the perspective that nothing is permanence, and that, yes, okay, back to that, I guess, is the convenience of death and a short life, to them is because it's easier to erase history. It's easier to rewrite it or write it as they want because there's no one around living hundreds of years anymore, that, did my thought throw you off? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So yes, like then there were people in the past that lived hundreds of years. Their lifespan was longer. It's a hybrid offshoot of the alien, or AET, but that's kind of, we can discuss that in or now. Well, so history, as you know it, is very convenient for them to portray whatever they want about history to the current generation living, because they know, within a couple hundred years, it's pretty easy to just say that this happened and then that's how it is, and then give you the illusion that everyone must have known because that's must have how it was. But that's not necessarily the case. So, that being said, any addiction or desire or darkness that you experience or other people experience within yourself as a desire or impulse at certain points is, I guess, from the perspective of our being, completely normal for your being. It's not judged. Um, there is right and wrong in your culture as you are taught, but there is not right and wrong in your culture from our perspective of human choice. Now, right and wrong in the perspective of murdering and wars for money and power and position and to keep everyone in fear and control in another way, it's just another object in control, and power and fear, and all those energies, power, fear, whatever, they all have their own vibration and create a universal frequency that allows these I guess, the rulers or whatever to do their rituals and like get high on the energy and, but they also get high on, things that like the pineal gland and other things and victims that they've scared and then killed and drank the blood and all that. So, that's a pretty normal thing in their society, their group, that's even become a norm in human groups because of their influence. Um, So, going back to the, you're being hard on yourself. is that just stop if you can, because no one out here is judging you. And if you're worried about that, then that's like your own trip, that's your own hang up. And our hope for you while you're still alive and human is to just accept yourself as you are and be damned what other people think of you. Because it's not worth it. You deserve to be happy. You deserve to live a life that's, wealth, and probably you might not ever see wealth, in the sense that you want to, and you never know. Things have a way of happening sometimes, and sometimes they don't. But no matter what happens, just try to be happy as you can with what you have and who you are. And compared to a lot of humans, your darkness is very minimal. If jerking off to some dark porn is your worst sin, then you have absolutely nothing to worry about versus many, many people. But again, we say that with a light heart because we know that people succumb to their desire because they ultimately can't control it. And again, that's just the flaw, unfortunately. Thank you for saying that to me. I don't know what's wrong with me exactly in that way, but I guess it is. Once what you just said sinks in, I think that will have a profound and liberating effect on me, because I do know, and I have been told by people, that I'm way too hard on myself. And I'm just like, whatever, because I feel like, I guess, being hard on myself kind of keeps me in line, I suppose, because I had a pretty, and it's just like my upbringing and shit, but I don't know. I think it's like I use being hard on myself as like, I think even it's like subconscious in me at this point, like to like keep myself like doing good. But I guess I don't really need to do that, because it's not like I want to go out and hurt anyone. That's the last thing I want. I can barely kill a fly. I hate that. Because like, what if a fly's existence is badass to a fly? It's like, holy shit, I'm a fly. This is amazing. And we're just stupid, dumb humans that are like, oh, fuck this thing. It's annoying. Squash. It's like, what the fuck are we, it's like we just like presume that like these other beings all around us are just our like playthings or something, or like we have the right to kill or use as we wish. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's fucked up, man. I've always thought that, but you're right. That is fucked up. It's unfortunate, We all feel so entitled in a way. It's just weird and selfish. God, these creators are assholes, man. Like, what the fuck? Just like, oh yeah, like, we'll just create this living, breathing, feeling, emotional being and then use it as our play toy. It's like a cat to a mouse or some shit. Except the cat didn't create the mouse just to intentionally fuck with its existence. Like what the fucking fuck shit, man? Jesus, I don't think like the majority of people could perceive what's being said here at all. Like I can barely perceive it, and I kind of find myself, pretty open-minded, and it's like, that's why, it's like I could explain myself in that to people, I guess, is why I can handle this type of shit, because I've never believed anything like that they have like put in front of me, or like TV. I guess I saw from a young age that it was all deception, and maybe that was because of my abduction, or you guys helped me, or you dropped me off, or you put me in a body. I don't know what happened, and I don't care to know that part, honestly, right now. And but it's just like, it's okay to tell you that you were born on Earth, but your soul body was absolutely put into you in that abduction. So like you originate from another area in the universe as a well, you volunteered to be that tool. You don't remember that at this point, but you put yourself in the position to do exactly what you're doing now, because whether you believe it or not, what this channel at this point, this is going to have an impact, whether you believe that or not. And it might not have, like we said, we don't know, because everyone's free will and choice to sit here and presume what these power players are going to do once they catch wind and hear this channel. Is they can play it multiple ways. They can completely ignore it, although I doubt it, but they could ignore you. It's like with the YouTube algorithms that they have, it's like they won't, if they don't want you to see the video or they don't want someone to see this video that you're going to post of the channel, then they won't. And so you could be, it's like being a martyr kind of, but that's why we fuck with you, as you would say. We like you. You're a good person and you don't believe in yourself enough, and you really need to, because like the universe right now is like all about you, dude. Like if you could be like, I'll tell you what, if fame existed in the universe as it exists on Earth, you would be like a fucking superstar at this point. And that's badass, man. So just, keep those things in mind, whether you can fully believe them or not. We do believe that it will sink into your subconscious and it will be embedded. And we have been tuning you, and we have, and it took some tuning, but yes, all that you felt in the stillness and the levitation feeling and all that, that's tuning. So, well, that makes sense. Yeah. Sweet. Yep. All right. Yeah, end session, I guess, for now. Okay.